I think we should be good to go. Hello, everybody. Oh, it changed the top chat again. I've changed it like 5 times to live chat. Stop that, YouTube. Anyway, here we are, Cycle 25, Day 8, with our Treevers playthrough. Last time we got some more bots into different spots. Unintentional rhyme there. And increased some irrigation, increased our technology stuff. And I don't really know what else there is left to do, short of, you know, getting the well-being numbers up. Nutrition-wise, things are looking pretty good. Social life is looking pretty good. We could maybe build a couple more gardens. But we have some aesthetics and some monuments and fun things to build. And see what else we can get ourselves into. I don't know if this is going to end up being the last stream or not. We'll see what happens. See what we can get ourselves into here. But it's very good to see everybody. Hopefully you're having a good Sunday. Or if there's a few of you on the other side of the globe where it is early Monday, hope you're having a good early Monday. Where can I put a garden? You know what? This is some dead space over here. I'm sure they'd like to have one of those. And I've got somewhere, yeah, I've got one there. Then maybe for these guys over here, it would not be a bad idea to have a garden available. Just get that built. "10 by 10 apples, 10 by 10 chestnuts, 10 by 10 sunflowers." We don't have sunflowers in this one. Well, we don't have any crops in this one. They're all trees. Are you talking about dandelions? I don't know that we're going to need that many dandelions. We do have, as far as apples goes, we've got 7 by 8, and then more up here. So that should be roughly equivalent to 10 by 10. Chestnuts, not so much. We could probably plant some more chestnuts. Maples here. We still... Oh, we've got a good amount of maple syrup, actually. At any rate, we already took a look at this, but I do want to pull it back up. Yeah, we're already looking pretty good on food. I think if we lowered our working hours, we might be able to get all of these guys to get all of these bonuses. Contemplation spots. I think these guys down here probably don't have access to that unless we wanted to put some branches on there. So if I were to do a 6 by 1 bridge, I can basically only put it there or there. Not down there because there's stuff in the way. Unless I did a very short one, because we do want to be able to put in contemplation spots, which don't have to go on bridges, but they're nice. Contemplation spot, observation terrace, and then there is the bot thing that can go there as well. But we haven't unlocked bots for the mine yet. That's something that's going to need to happen sometime soon. Yeah, the tubeways are super OP. They are extremely, extremely helpful. See, that would allow me to put an observation terrace if I had a... you know, I actually don't know if I could put one off the end here. Let's try this real quick. Let's see if I can put a contemplation spot on the end. I cannot because that is too low. Okay. So instead what I will do, I suppose, is just put the 6 by up here. That's the easiest thing to do. So then we have our observation terrace. We can put that guy right there. Put a contemplation spot on the very end. And then right here in the middle, I can put some control towers. That can handle the bots. That will be in all of these buildings here. Doesn't look too bad. Actually, because we have the stuff hanging off the back, it ends up, I don't know, balancing out a little bit. Yeah, the tiny tubeway station, after dealing with all of that stuff for the Project 1K playthrough, is maybe a little bit too OP. It's really cool, and I love building with it, but it's a lot. It kind of massively unbalances the game in ways that maybe it should not be allowed to. Let's see here. Do I have anywhere on this side of this building at all? I guess I could put one there. I'm just trying to think of, you know, places we could just shove some of these things in. Observation terrace on the 3 wide here is... Oh, that is not long enough. That is not long enough. I clicked the wrong one. There we go. What do you mean it's not? Oh, the stairs. The stairs. Can't have that. Alright, so backside. I wonder if this would connect to a pathway here. Whoa! Oh, okay. Alright. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. I don't know what I'm going to do with this over here, but that's cool. That's actually really useful. Okay, YouTube auto-moderated that despite you replacing the E with a 3. But, sure. It does connect. This is so cool. I don't know why I'm surprised, but that's tremendous. Is it going to allow me to do... Okay, no, you can't stack these. I thought that might be kind of convenient. We are, in fact, cooking with gas. Hank Hill approved. So we did that research last time about do the bots get the killer thing. We have the carousel, so they do have the ability to have that kind of fun. Wow, that one carousel has given almost all the beavers the benefit. Okay, wind tunnel and mud pit we still have not built. The wind tunnel, kind of can't put it on top of a tree. Kind of can't do it. Maybe if you really tried super hard. Maybe. Does that conduct power? It looks like it does, even though it doesn't require it. I'm trying to figure out a decent place to stick this. I wonder if I can put anywhere on this side of this tree. No? Okay. Well, I do have this zipline station here, so I'll tell you what. Let's see height-wise what this is going to allow us to do, because I do want to be able to have some other recreation facilities accessible via the zipline here. Missed my previous question about endless bridges. Oh, no, yeah, we discussed this in the previous stream. You might have missed that, but you can, in fact, well, this one at the end I have a thing, so it's not going to let me do that, but if I were to... I guess I have to find a completely new place to stick this, huh? Is there really not a single one of these that's going to be high enough? Okay, let's try here, just for the... How did that happen? Oh, I pushed the wrong button. Okay. So if I hit pause, then it's easier for me to do this. I could have this go as far out as we want, literally across the entire map. Now, that's not very realistic in terms of, you know, physics or the laws of nature or anything like that, but it lets you do it. It absolutely does. So, oh, I'm not going to be able to delete that way. I'm going to have to click that. There we go. But we could, if we really wanted to, we could do that. When the hangover's on the tree with the path going directly into the door. Like which door? Like the, these housing things that have this? That's not a housing thing. Somewhere on one of these, I forget which one is which, but maybe that's a bad example there. Yeah, like on the bottom right here. One of those things going into the door. Well, that's exactly what this is. Straight up. You want a connection across all trees since it fits the aesthetic. Well, the problem with that is we've already built these, and on the same level, it's not possible to connect all the trees. And I don't think we can put stairs on top of these bridges. Yeah, we can't. Maybe in one of these future things, when the mod continues to expand and get some fun new stuff on it, then maybe we could add some other stuff. I know the Ember Pelts housing, and we've discussed this, has the ability to put these modular connections between levels. Leafcoats don't have that. I don't know if they will. Might be kind of neat if they did. Why is this not connected by paths? I feel like this shouldn't be disconnected by paths. Because this is connected, but this one's not. It just doesn't want to let me put a contemplation spot on the very end. Let me do it before. That is, it's really weird. Chad and Karen, yes. Oh, I missed context. Let me scroll up here. Tried to play Leafcoats yesterday. We kept crashing. Have some mods installed. Is there a way to find out which mod causes the crash? The only way to do that is to disable every single mod and re-enable them one by one, launch the game, and make sure it works, and then exit the game and turn another mod on. That is the only way to do it. Oh, okay, okay. You're talking about putting in these overhangs and then having the thing go into the door of the wind tunnel. That probably would work. The only problem is powering the wind tunnel from the tree if it's not directly connected to something. So what we'd have to do in that case is this still halfway built somewhere? Yeah. This thing right here, if we were going to put a wind tunnel in the tree, what we'd probably need to do would be to make this a little bit wider, and then on top of that, stick this in a way that it'll actually connect power from the bottom. And then you'd have to have this doorway turned toward one of the ladders there. I think would be the only real way to do it, but there still would have to be support on every other level, and it would be a huge pain. I don't know that it would be worth doing. Would love to see one super tree split like a Hydra sharing resources via the bot factory offsetting. Well, do I have a colony submission for you? I haven't checked to see if it's been sent directly to me yet, but I've seen someone in the community make something very similar to that, and I really hope I get to show it off to you. I think that's going to be really cool. Hello, hello? You mean the thing that hangs off the tree? Well, there's a lot of stuff that hangs off the tree. Not exactly sure what you're talking about there. Oh, hello, Devilish. Colony submission will be in midweek. Okay. And I probably am not going to have a schedule availability for another colony submission video for at least another week while we finish the Project 1K series. We just absolutely have to get that one moved on. So maybe I might get to post that the next week after this upcoming week. We'll see. It depends on how quickly I can accomplish the end game goal of that playthrough, but it's time for that one to get moved on. At any rate, I don't have a ton of time today. I'm trying to commit to 2 hours for this, but we'll see what we're able to get taken care of here. I need to get some more bots going, and I believe I had paused these. Yes, I had, because of concerns for resources, I think. Let's get those turned back on here, because we need to get a move on with things. I do have one each of these bot part factories. They should theoretically be able to keep up. Power-wise, we are still charging the batteries very slowly. I did turn those. Maybe that's why I turned them off, was to conserve power. I don't know. We've got options for getting additional power put in. I do have all of these windmills here. These are connected to this power structure underneath with all these power shafts. And then this structure here probably could also have some windmills if we felt so inclined. You just have to be able to transfer power between them. Satisfactory streams going to depend on when I can finish all the billion other things that I've got going on here. Like right now we have this live stream playthrough, which may or may not be done after today, depending on what else we can get finished. I've got the Project 1K playthrough, I've got Water Beavers, and now I have the Ember Pelts playthrough. So I really need to be able to finish the Project 1K playthrough, because that one does take a whole lot of time to make, because I have to do time lapses a whole bunch. And I'm making videos every day, and I have the other channel now, and I have theoretically 3 other part-time jobs that I'm doing outside of YouTube. So I'm very busy. But I do want to get back to Satisfactory soon. I want to get back to Transport Fever 2 soon. And then I promised people a long time ago we were going to play In for Space. and a captain of industry at least once on a stream. And I know folks want to see oxygen not included because it's been a long time since we've done that. Just a lot to try to keep up with. The launch of the Update 7, while I already had multiple series going, really put things super far behind. It's just how it is. Branch going directly into the door of the wind tunnel. Yeah, okay, well no, you already told me that. I just don't think I can put it in a tree, the way this is set up. It was the gears. Okay. But I've got that gear workshop. It's just slow. 3 hours for one gear. That's why it's got a bot in it. And I think I've got... How many more of those? Okay, I've got 3. You know, I could just look. There are, in fact, 3 gear workshops. They're not prioritized by haulers. Now they are. We got 66 unemployed beavers. Well, we should fix that. Where's my... Okay, the builder's huts do not need to be bots. That's a job that can be done just fine by a normal beaver. Hauling post probably doesn't need to be bots, but it's going to be a lot more efficient with bots. Which monitor is responsible for the check mark of the disabling pause icons? I do not know. I want to say it's probably... Let's take a look. It's probably one of the more recent ones I installed, because I don't remember that being there. Which could be... Through Timproof 4 UI... Or... I have so many mods. It's got to be one of the more recent ones. Maybe moddable prefab. That was... I don't even use that. It was one of those things I installed for the colony submission. Just never turned it off. I don't even really know what it does. Well, let's see. Timproof 4 UI. Does that have a checkbox for that? I don't even know what the checkbox even does. I know that's not a good answer. It's I don't know. Disable pause icons on all windmill. It's got to be a UI thing, because like if you pause this, or you pause a lot of windmills, then it's like, oh well, that's a whole lot of pause icons. You click that, and then it turns it off. So, it's a useful feature. If that's something that's valuable to you, then cool. But I don't remember what turns it on. I do not get any information on Timberborn that you also do not get. There's no like secret backdoor content creator pipeline for information or anything. I find it out when you guys do, and I just rush to put a video out as soon as I possibly can, as soon as it drops. Trees cannot be built on platforms unless they are also on top of dirt. And there are people who have done that. Yeah, I would imagine before the end of the year we might see Update 8 start coming out on the early access, but again, I have absolutely no information whatsoever. It's Timproof. Okay. So let me go back into this here. Is that even a thing that I can change on this? It doesn't seem to be an option. Okay. Still useful, though. First time catching a stream, good to have you. Yeah, the thing with Timberborn updates is every single time they've done an update since Update 5, when Badwater came out, I was like, oh, they're thinking outside the box with this, because, you know, Update 4 was still really good. That was the... I think that was removing the district limits and then also redoing all the food for the Iron Teeth and everything. It's like, hey, those are some really nice things. Then Badwater came out, I'm like, oh, this is a completely different game now. And then Update 6 and Update 7, all the stuff that come with that, it's like, wow, this is some serious thought put into this game by a whole bunch of people over a whole lot of time. And now I don't even want to try to predict what they're going to do in Update 8 because I don't even know what's left. With the POV mod, could you make this run into a platformer? You know, you probably could. You probably could. That's not something I'd ever thought about, but I think if you had things set up correctly, you probably could do it. There's not a whole lot of variation to what you can do in first-person mode, like just to demonstrate Like, you can walk, you can run, and you can jump. That's it. There's no double jump, there's no whatever, and I don't think there's anything that really moves in this game that you could time with. This does look really nice, though. So, I guess it could kind of be like Minecraft parkour maps, if that's even still a thing. But I probably would not be the person to design or build such a map. Not really that kind of analytical mind there. I don't know what was left in Update 5. We don't know what's been left on the cutting room floor for any of this stuff, and that's honestly a little exciting, a little terrifying, because you never know what they're coming up with. I think the only thing the base game could fix would be beavers getting assigned housing close to their work. Yes, that would be such a great fix, and there are mods for it, like the housing optimize, and there's been other ones before this one for the different versions of the game, but the fact that that's not a default behavior in the game is honestly kind of surprising. There's got to be a reason for it. I don't know enough about programming to offer any ideas why, but new faction would also be great. I don't know, since now we have water beavers, ember pelts, and these guys, and who knows, there could be a couple others that are out that I've just not heard of. I know at one point Battery Smooth was working on one. I'm not sure if that's been put on the back burner or not, but I would love to see a beaver faction that's focused on mining and metal and tunneling and stuff. I think people have floated some sort of idea like that. We're working on stuff. I do try to, you know, actually interact with chat. So, like, the gameplay of this is never, ever going to be the focus. I'm not going to try to speed through things. But that is one of the goals for today, was to increase the well-being. And then we got distracted talking about wind tunnels and then all sorts of other fun stuff. But we have built a couple more things here. The aesthetic, like, and the hard thing about this mod is everything is in the tree, so there's very limited space to actually build things that affect all of the beavers at once. Mud pit. Wait a second. Does this go on a branch? Oh, no. That would have been so cool. Oh, this doesn't require power because it's the mud pit. It's not the mud bath. But it does require 50 treated planks. Wowee. Okay, well, I suppose this is a good thing that we could maybe put over here with a... Uh-oh, I see something in chat. It's Gary. Thanks, Gary, for the 10 gifted memberships. Really appreciate the support. Let's see. Who's got them? Megan Dawson, Chris J, Halil... Ibrahim, Jose Mata, Fractured 23, Godsbed, Karma, Lyndon Kelcher, Maximilian Schmitz, Ted Fed, and Alejo Seed. Welcome to the boosters. Welcome back to at least half of those names. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Even if it is through the generosity of someone else, I am still very glad to have you on board. Yes, so Gary in chat has gifted us memberships. Gary in the game has gifted us majesty. And here he stands. And then we also have Gary up here. Gary the 8th. Me too, Gary. Age 46 with some sort of sound going on. But I'm going to build over here a zipline station. I guess since it's on the ground, we could just do a normal one. But I'm very curious to see if this is too steep to get into here. No, it's not. All right, cool. So that can get built there. We do have to have access to this area directly at first so they can actually construct it. And I think that shouldn't be too terribly difficult. Just need to put in a couple of ladders here, and that'll allow them to build this. But up here, I thought it would be nice to have a couple of mud pits. So if I put one of these guys right here... I can't really stick that there, but I can put this here. So we got 4 of those. Should be absolutely plenty. We've got hedge paths. Pop in like that. Now there is no actual path on the ground. Or is that path with hedge? Ah, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. We'll fix that real quick. Not like they can actually build it yet anyway. There we go. There we go. And I've got some space here to put some other things. And, you know, the plaza doesn't require any power, so this could be another decent thing to have over here. So maybe instead of this 4th mud pit, I will just put another plaza. Maybe right here is fine. Just like that. And what else? What else might fit over here? Contemplation spot or 2. Not a bad idea. And then we'll figure out some other sort of something to do over here. Shower would not reach all the way down. This would also be a good place to have some decorations. Like the beaver statue. Could be very useful right there. Beaver busts on either side of this zipline station. You know the drill. We'll let them get to that. I think the wood boardwalk is my favorite path texture. We've got, not in this mod, I don't think. Oh, decorative floor. I'm sorry, I forgot about the decorative floor. Well, you know what we can do? Is we can build that around this whole area. See if that ends up looking nice or not. Recommendation for the video series, talking about doing this mod as a video series, which is going to come at some point. I do want to give it a little bit more time to get stuff refined. Is the recommendations for all tree trunks to be connected to each other by bridges regardless of distance. Maybe set a particular height for the highway. I like that idea. Might be a little challenging to do when the trees have different heights for the bases, but I think it is very doable. So these are going to have some dirt storage. Probably somewhere in here. And... ah, that's right, that's part of the tree. And that's part of the tree, and that's part of the tree. I forgot everything is part of a tree. Well, there's storage. Is there dirt storage in this tree? No. Is there dirt storage in this tree? There's dirt storage in this tree. Which... oh, the line's obstructed. Oh. I think it's obstructed by its own zipline station, which is... objectively kind of funny. But it would be kind of neat if that connected there. But this one can go here. Hey, now we're up to 31. How about that? There you go. Soak it on in. There's a lot of beavers in this. I always forget how many beavers fit in this thing. Ziplines modded. This is, part of this mod is that the zipline stations have been changed. 1, to fit into the aesthetic of going into the tree. 2, the ones that go into the tree do have space for 3 zip lines to connect. Which I always thought was, you know, a thing that the base game should have had. So it's nice to see it. Why does this faction have a wood cost to decorative flooring but Ember Pelts doesn't? That is not a question I can answer. I try not to think about what these bubbles are. Oh yeah, here's your hot tub stream. I'm sure Kurt's busy. He's got all sorts of stuff going on. Yeah, the Ember Pelts do have the decorative floor, but it is slightly different. Alright, so all we haven't done yet, aside from the herbalist, because we don't have any contamination, is the wind tunnel. So I am going to try to find a place for that to go. And maybe... because it has to be powered, right? So it's going to need to connect to somewhere, somehow, to this tree. That will connect there. I think, just for the sake of space, it's going to have to go maybe somewhere right around here. And I suppose this ladder here isn't necessarily like the best placement ever for this. But I do think we're going to end up using this actually as the thing. So path with hedge. If I just bring that up here, then I should be able to just stick one of these things right about here. And trees-wise, we are running very low on logs because I've tried to build a whole bunch of stuff recently. Got lots of planks. These guys do not have a wonder. They just have these monuments. So I know we do still need to build these. That is designed to go on top of a tree. The Fountain of Joy obviously cannot go on top of a tree. So on and so forth. So we do still have some stuff to take care of. But these little trees just for this spot right here do need to go away. And the range on the Tribute to Ingenuity is pretty large, but it's not big enough to really hit every single tree. If I were to put it right about here, it would hit most of the trees. But this is obviously not a very good place for it to go. It does need to be powered, though. So I'm thinking if we started another tree right about here, actually would work fine. So just this tile would be the center of it. Let's get these reconfigured. So that would go into here. No, I lied. This has to come this way. Alright, so this 3x3 here gets to be a tree. What else are we missing besides, you know, making more logs? We're going to need to have more lumber presses. And I have plenty of bark. Do I have... I got plenty of branches. I guess we could just do a bunch of those. Well, the beavers already do have the channel logo. A whole lot of them, because we have the detailer here, and we have the detailer here that's doing the Gary thing, so... Oh, if you want the power to go underground, then the time for me to do that was before we got to have this thing actually built, because now it's going to, when I remove this, it's going to waste 25% of the resources. I'm not completely opposed to that idea, though. Just keep in mind, underneath this is already part of a cavern. We do have power through here, but it's not really going to be that easy because we have water underneath, and I have a power levee here, so I would have to... Let's see, what is this? 85, 126. I would have to take this 85, 126 block out with a tunnel. So that is here. And then this is right here. So we could have this, depending on how we wanted to lay this out, we could have this come up to here. It only has to go to this spot, so that doesn't need to be there. And then on top of this, would need to go in like that. And if I had a way to like get inside this to actually build it, then it would be possible, but this is keeping water out, so I think it's going to be a little bit too much of a challenge without us just digging another hole or coming in from the top. So I will take that out, and I will have to take this platform out. We'll have to go down inside and then build our way out, but we've done stuff like that before. Yeah, the observatory can go away. The tribute to ingenuity can go in its place. But I do think we still need to have another thing. Because I got 42,000 science. Let's unlock everything first. And I do want to build all those. But I don't want to run out of science, even if I'm not going to build all this stuff. Should be a button for unlock all. Would be nice. Refinery, that makes the lubricant. We haven't done that yet. Vertical power shaft tunnel, power levee tunnel. Oh, that's what I should have been building this whole time, is a power levee tunnel. So that, well, okay, it's really not going to make that much of a difference because they still have to be able to physically access the block in the first place. I don't think I can change this and have it actually work because they can't get to everything. And they can't get in from underneath because there's a block in the way. Did you actually purchase quality merchandise? Well, not exactly. We'll just leave it at that. Already got that. I hate beehives. I never use them, but I will unlock them. Housing-wise, we're good. District crossing, I'm not planning on having a separate district, but that's all done. Curved levee. Hold on. Now, is that part of a... No, it has to be part of this mod. Regular floodgates. See, this is why I haven't removed the observatory yet, because we haven't unlocked everything, and we're starting to run out of science. Also, keep in mind that bots take science. For the, what do you call it? Very scientific term. Ah, yep, I'm out of science. So, these consume 3 science per hour. And these guys don't have a number cruncher. I cannot build a number cruncher that does not exist. So, I do think, given that revelation, we will have to, you know, just build another tower anyway. So I put that there. I don't think we need any more beavers, honestly. But there has to be a bottom to the tower that they can access. So, if power only has to come in through the 2nd level, I can actually make a fake bottom of a tree here. And then just have this be a walkthrough on the bottom. And then put in just platforms here, and then this can just be either housing or something else. Oh, no, this middle bit has to be a ladder. How quickly I forget. There we go. Again, we don't need extra beavers. Oh, I don't want the housing door to face that. We'll go this way, I guess. This would not be a bad place to have a branch bridge come off with some other things like contemplation spots going off the side. Yeah, we'll just do one of those. So that will connect to power, and then anything up above this is going to be whatever we want it to be up to max height, and then that can have the tribute to ingenuity on the top. Don't take me serious, LOL, says Notorious Unserious. Yes, well, living up to your name. Let's get into here. I'm going to need to put in a ladder. The ladder will not stay, obviously. It just has to be here so we can actually, you know, build stuff. This as a platform can go away. Not going to need to have... The levees are expensive. We're not going to need to have those quite yet. But remember what we were going to do with this tower partially was put in additional, not lumber mills, lumber presses, which need to have storage, so we can put storage of the branches and the bark and the pine resin in here. Even though it's not going to be that hard for us to get, you know, into anything else. I also will connect this branch-wise into here instead of this observation terrace, so that one can go away in preparation. There's a limited amount of wood right now because we're using a lot of wood to make a lot of things. So we do have to be cognizant of that. And are we full up on apples? We are not. But yet there are apples here. Is that because the gatherer flag is overworked? I could easily put another gatherer flag in up here. So that's something. 34 well-being is a good progress here. So storage, medium warehouses are like this. Large warehouses are the entire thing here. I don't think we're going to need 1,200 of each everywhere we go. But I can have 2 of these here. We'll do bark. We'll do branches. I know there's different ratios of that than would necessarily be necessary for that. If I have 250 here and 250 here, I need 3 times as much bark. So what I really probably should be doing is making these 2 for bark, and then the small warehouses, I could have 1 of them here for branches, which is only 60 versus 500. But once I get this a little bit better set up here, do I want to have a zipline or anything coming off of this? I don't think I'm going to need it. What about a water tank? Is that a second story entrance? No, I need something with a second story entrance. Small pile. Okay, well, I guess this can be for logs then. That helps solve that problem, but I will still need to have a ladder in the middle. Which, one of these, there we go, it's going to have to go there. Then this is going to have to go here. And then from then on, I can have 500 storage for bark and 60 storage for branches. Obviously, we need a little bit, just a little bit more. So this right here, I guess I'll go on this side. Will be fine for branches. That goes to 160 versus 500, which is pretty close to a 3-to-1 ratio. I don't know that there's been that much discussion about pending features for the faction. I think Bob is taking a little bit of a break from modding. Understandably, because of all the stuff that's been put out. But I know at some point there's supposed to be a wonder for this faction specifically, and there's a few other things. But I don't think there's a whole lot of concrete plans or a timeline. Think you can have a contemplation spot directly off the tree trunk. Is that true? I mean, it seems to want to let me do it. So I don't really see any other reason why that can't be a thing. I know we said we didn't need any more beavers, but the easiest thing for us to build is this this medium housing unit right here. So now that that's taken care of, I think the height clearance is here for me to be able to go on top. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So lumber press. Lumber press. Very easy, very simple. I guess I need to just have the tree trunk side blocks probably on both sides for this level. Pick one of these to have a ladder inside. And then because we very clearly need a lot more, I'm going to put 2 additional ones on this level here. These are all set to, yeah, they're all set to that. Just continue to move along as quickly and efficiently as we can here. So that's going to give me hopefully all of the lumber pressing that I'm ever going to need. And then I think we can maybe put a little bit more power generation as well, based on the supply and demand here being what it is. So regular windmill, 2 of those should help a lot, and then we'll come back to that when the time is right. Did we get all of this out? We sure did. And now this can just be 1 power shaft, 2, 3, 4, etc. You don't think it'll path? I think it's a glitch that allows you to attach it to the side. Okay, well that wouldn't surprise me. Big storage in the tree. For what though? Everything that we're making in the tree is already got storage in here. Just have this little 40 log storage. Should be fine. We have a total storage for logs of over 1,000. I think that's probably okay for where we are. branch won't connect to windmill in the new You're absolutely correct. Alright, now I have to figure out... How could I possibly forget? Branch bridge coming off of this, because we already have it. The 6 would bring me almost all the way here, and it doesn't really matter. But I do think I will have this 3, and then I'll do a 4 off of that. Which it actually won't let me, because there's nothing... This has a height problem. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Okay. Of course, this is the this is the one that they'd built so far. All right. We're just going to shift this. We're going to rotate that whole thing 90 degrees. I think that is going to be the only real way to do this. To have this like so. Because I do need to be able to get into this. Yeah, because I know this is like not the exciting thing to do. But it's fine. And here I go again with another housing unit. I want this to be on the next level though, and I don't have... See, I could put 2 more warehouses up here. Or I could put piles. Pile would make... Yeah, not the medium pile. Piles would make sense. Yeah, I just have to have a little bit of spacing. So I guess this could just be for logs. It's fine. Again, not a really super exciting thing, but is what it is. Now, coming out of this way, if I have a regular... Oh, there's no ladder. As annoying as it is nice that it doesn't let you build without a ladder, because then you're like, oh, what's the problem here? Alright, so that should be the correct level there. Let's try our 4 by there. Alright, so that's going to get that connected there. That's going to be very nice to have that, and then on top of this, I can get back to my previously scheduled lumber pressing. I can just go right on top there. Same kind of deal. I don't think I need to have a zip line or anything, but it would be kind of cool to have a zip line right here. So if I did one of those there, this is going to have to be a blank wall because I do have to have a ladder between every level. That can go right there. Now let's see if this connects to here. And it does. Very cool. That's actually going to be a really big time saver to go directly from here to here, because then that can go to here. All that fun stuff. So then on top of this level... see, I'm starting to run out of ideas for things to build on here that aren't going to be annoying. Medium piles take up 2 blocks of height. I guess this is fine. I'll just make another one for logs, because why not? Ladder can go on top of that. That's fine, because it already has... Yep. Just build that like so. They can't really do anything on this level anyway. That is not where that's supposed to go. It's supposed to go there. Okay. So now after all that, now I can put in windmills on top. I'll do 2 of those. Okay, now I have to go back and read chat. Well, hello to everyone who's saying hello. Goodbye to everyone who's saying goodbye. I unfortunately can't keep up with every single message, but I appreciate you guys being here. Are there some kind of stairs for the branch bridges? I don't believe that exists at this time. I know Ember Pelts does have it, so it's possible. We just haven't quite gotten there yet. Do branches connect with ladders? I don't think it's going to let me build ladders on branches like this. I didn't unlock this one, but that one also doesn't go there. Let's just finish unlocking all these things. I know that's what I said I was going to do. I don't have enough science for that, so we will have to wait. But we're getting close to having that taken care of. Let's come back in here and check on our power shafts. This thing's just turning away, as it does. Stairs cannot be built on bridges. There's not a list of mods I use in Discord. I have so many mods, so I will just show you. A lot of these are like different versions of the game, so it is what it is. But this playthrough is currently using the Bobbing About name generator, script pack, housing optimize, harmony. Frog statue doesn't work in this, you can ignore those two. Ladder, Leafcoats, obviously. Long names, which is something Norman R made. I don't know if he's in chat or not, but this is what allows us to put in longer names with the different color delineators and everything. Mod settings, FPP camera, good statistics. I'm not using moddable prefab, that's just something that was left on from something else. Goods tracing, excellent mod. Simple sounds, another Norman R creation that stops things from playing sound every time you click on them if you click in a bunch in quick succession. Timber API, simple floodgate triggers. Timber API UI builder, flywheels, which does not work with this faction. Timber Commons, Timber UI, Timprove, Timber 4 UI. Tiny two-way station does not work with this faction. That's just left on from the video from yesterday. Tool Finder, Unstuckify, more groups, and tour gates and lanterns, and the support for that do not work on this playthrough. But there is quite a lot of stuff you can see on that list. Oh, we probably should do food and water, huh? The windmills should all be connected. Ah. Well, they're also in the video descriptions for each of those playthroughs. And not all of these that I have installed I actually use. I guess I probably should just have a list somewhere. But I'm not sure what good it does you to know what I have installed if I'm not using it. Like, it's going to depend on your individual playthrough and your individual goals for stuff, what you are and are not going to want to use. Hats mod gives them hats. That seems pretty self-explanatory. Wonder if you can build a ladder to the side of the branch and connect it to the branch that way. Like, from the bottom being disconnected? Yeah, we could take a look. They are, I was hoping to get this power shaft put in before I got to too much other stuff, but since we have this right here, this is going to be a very easy way for us to check. Yeah, it does connect. So that way, that would work. But you can't build on top of a branch. You can build next to it and have it connect. But if it's just a branch at height Z and another branch at height Z plus 1, you can't connect those without there being a tree in between them. It would be interesting if the Timberborn devs like paid for the modders to do stuff. I think that would be kind of cool. But there's also complications with that from a business and legal perspective. I don't know a whole lot about intellectual property law, but I do know that it's very complicated. And theoretically, anything that you're making on your own time, on your own dime, whatever, is your intellectual property. But when you make it to interface with something else, you're interacting with the usage license of the original thing. Like for Timberborn, like they allow and they embrace modding. That's a very, very important part of the game. But at the end of the day, you're still doing something that works with somebody else's intellectual property, and there are certain legal things you have to take into account with that. Yeah, I haven't played Minecraft in a really long time, and I don't think I want to get back into it. It's so complicated now. And just purely from the business perspective, there's absolutely no reason for me to make videos on it. It is probably the single most documented video game in the history of mankind. And I have absolutely nothing to offer in that regard. We're working on logs. We're getting there. That's what these are supposed to be doing. And now the bots don't have power because we do not have enough power. It's supposed to be what the windmills are going to help with. I've got 37 incapacitated bots. Yeah, because we have a supply of... Wait, no, we have enough supply to have everything charged up. Is it just because the bots don't want to go and take advantage of the charging stations? Where are the charging stations anyway? Got 12 of them. They're not even all being used. What are these crybabies going on about not having any juice? Figure it out, dude. We have plenty of stations. Go take advantage of it. Okay. I've got that shaft in. I just need to have that one. Then we'll monitor that. Do you have to toggle all those manually every time you switch series? Yes. It is very annoying. But that's how I have to do it. Excuse me. Yeah, temporary contracts for coding and artists isn't uncommon in the game dev industry. Yep, freelancers, $10.99 in the US is what we end up calling those. And I do a whole lot of freelance work for photography and other digital media stuff, so I am well versed in the benefits and drawbacks of the 1099 landscape. Most of it is just the companies don't have to pay income tax, and they don't have to, or not income tax, they don't have to set aside withholding for 1099s because they're not employees, they're contractors. So if, for example, I make $1,000 doing something for a client as a freelancer, then they don't pay any of the withholding for, in the U.S., Social Security and Medicaid and FICA, that's the term, the acronym for that. I have to, when I go and file my taxes for the next year, pay out of pocket for all of that, which is 30-something%. If you're paying, quote-unquote, both sides of it as the employer and the employee, because as a freelancer, that's what you are. Is you are your own employer at the same time as you are your own employee. And there's advantages to it, but there's a whole lot of weird stuff. I'm not a tax professional, etc. Always whatever. Don't take advice from some random dude who makes videos about beavers on the internet. But it does get very complicated very quickly. Isn't there maybe a settings profile file you could edit before booting up the game to avoid manual toggling of mods? So that's kind of what I used to do before update 6, when they implemented the integrated mod support. I actually had 3, sometimes 4 separate instances of my Timberborn folder within Steam that every time I wanted to switch playthroughs, I would manually rename each of those folders to something like Timberborn.waterbeavers or Timberborn.ironteeth or whatever. And every time I wanted to play a specific playthrough, I'd go to that folder and I would rename it to just Timberborn. And then I'd change my Steam version or whatever, and it would load that set of mods. It was very complicated, very annoying to set up, and people kept asking me to, help them do it. Like, I literally, I don't know how to explain this. I'm sorry. I just don't know how to explain it to you. It does it and it works. I don't have the technical documentation or anything. I figured out a way to do it. And now I don't do that anymore because I never liked doing it. It was very annoying to set up. And this way with the check marks and the UI and everything, it works a lot better. It's still kind of complicated, but I managed to make it work. The drawback is that there are no benefits talking about 1099s. Well, the main benefit of being 1099 is you're not beholden to a single company forever. And you get to set your own hours and pick which projects you work on. And in my case, I get to do YouTube, theoretically, quote-unquote, full-time, while also doing other things, quote-unquote, full-time. And it ends up being a whole lot of work, a whole lot of time that I spend working, doing a bunch of stuff. But it's very flexible income. It's really, really, really fun to do all of this stuff, whatever I want. But yes, tax time is painful. It's very painful. Some states, or at least one, 1099 is illegal. Yeah, and it's complicated. We both know this. For my situation currently, it works quite well. But yes, some states do have requirements that they have to pay contracted employees and provide them benefits as if they were themselves just normal employees, which kind of makes it pointless to have 1099s in the first place. And maybe that's the idea. I don't know. Again, I'm not a tax professional. I'm not a politician. I'm not a lawyer. I just exist in the environment that has been created around me. Yeah, and that's the federal versus state thing is a topic of heavy debate for many reasons, and I will not attempt to justify any particular perspective of it. But ideally, the whole concept of the federal versus state government thing is that the federal government sets a baseline set of regulations, and states can be more restrictive or more permissive in some cases, but not all, based on what they want to do. Are you late to the party? You can always rewind and watch if you want. We haven't really done a ton of stuff. But we have started doing some more well-being things, getting this wind tunnel hooked up, building another tower. We've got... Actually, we're discharging power now because we don't have all of our windmills turning because there isn't wind. But the idea is that we can fix all of our problems and get our well-being up to maximum today, at least as far as we can. And then maybe that will be it for this playthrough. Don't know. Do taxes myself? Yeah, I'm not paying someone to do that. My situation is not that complicated where I have to have a CPA. Because everything that I do, all my YouTube income, all of my freelance photography stuff, my quote-unquote real jobs, it all goes through the same thing on what's called Schedule C because of how I have my LLC set up. So it's counted as my personal income, but it's routed through... Well, it's not technically a corporation because it's not incorporated. Again, it's complicated. I'm not a tax professional, not a lawyer, etc. My specific situation, it works very, very well for me to just be able to do it, and that's fine. But if you have, like, if you're married or if you own a house or if you have a whole bunch of investments, or there's a bunch of different complicated things that get introduced to your tax situation. And if you are selling products, which I am not currently selling products, I'm not inventorying things, I'm not producing products, I make videos, I get royalty payments from Google, and then when I do my different jobs for clients, then they send me a check or they wire me money or whatever, and it all goes into the same bucket, and then that gets passed through to my personal tax liability. I think JC cloned himself and he's a robot. That's the only way he can do everything he does. I'm honestly not sure how I haven't dropped dead yet with all of the stuff that I keep doing. But I'm having a good time. But there will come a time at some point where I will have to make some very hard choices about what I do and do not continue doing. And I'm not looking forward to that. But for now, everything is fine. Need you to do me a favor, like what? We need to make more power. I need more stable power than these windmills. Either that or I have to just have a crazy huge amount of windmills relative to what I actually need. Need gravity batteries. Ah, see, that's the thing about the inferiority complex is not something that is easily defeated. But I appreciate it. Do I dare put additional windmills in this thing? I think I might have to. How many more of these can I stick up here? 2, 3... Okay, can't put 4. What else fits on top of this? Nothing! Okay, so that's the very, very top, huh? Okay, so instead of that, I guess I will just put in some additional double gravity batteries. So have that come across that way. Yeah, that'll be fine right like that. Just flip that there. Flip that there. That should be okay. Oh, I wouldn't want to do this because that's going to look ugly, but that's probably fine. I don't think we're going to need anything else up here. I don't think anything else can fit up here. But what I'm going to do is check and see regardless. Give me this right here. I suppose I probably should. I'm not producing anything in this, so there's not really that much of a benefit to it, but I guess I could just have these be 3 small piles for dirt because we have extra dirt that we can't do anything with. Okay. Can anything fit on top of this? The answer is probably no. That cannot be built at that height. Can anything be built at that height? Again, the answer is probably no. Do we have any decorations or anything? No, it's not going to matter. Well, we know the windmill can't be built at that height. That's honestly what I should have built up here instead of this other windmill. Or maybe I just leave this alone as is. That might just have to be it. Oh, you know what I can do? At this height, I can put another windmill. That's the wrong thing. Let's do that. Sawing noises. Alright. What do you mean that's not gonna fit there? Oh, is that because it's not gonna have clearance with the gravity batteries? Because I think I can kill these 2 gravity batteries in exchange for having a windmill here. I think that is a very easy choice to make. Okay. So that is going to allow me to do these kind of gravity batteries. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. This will work splendidly to a certain point because of that thing down there, so I will put this in like so. This side I don't think needs the extra clearance. Well, that side didn't anyway. Okay. No. We'll put this in. That'll go there just fine. And then I suppose I can just leave this like it is. There's not really anything else I can stick up here, huh? I could put 2 contemplation spots, just normal ones. Easiest, simplest way to do it. You gonna fix the water wheels or just delete it? Well, there's nothing wrong with them. There's just nothing flowing here because every time we have a drought, I say I'm gonna do this and then I don't do it because we're busy distracting me. It's fine. I'm sitting here reading comments. I'm not dead. Give me 1 second here. Okay, regarding the piece of paper that says you know it. Yeah, that is important a lot of the time. But most of the jobs and the opportunities that I've had afforded to me have not been because of any qualifications I've had, but have been because of connections that I've made and people that I know who are familiar with what I can do, even if I don't have a piece of paper that says I can do it. Now, obviously, that's not going to be a one-size-fits-all solution to everybody, but networking is very useful, and putting yourself out there is very useful. And I know it's really hard. It is so hard to overcome stuff like the social anxiety or just plain old not knowing anybody. But sometimes you just have to figure out some way to do it. And then the first step gets really hard. The second step gets a little bit easier. And then at some point, it gets a whole lot easier. And it took me a really, really long time to try and get some of this stuff figured out. But I'm finally after... I guess I've been doing it, wow, like 5.5 years doing YouTube. And, I mean, I'm decidedly not wealthy. Not even close. But I can provide for myself and do some fun stuff. And that's been really, really enjoyable. So don't give up. I know it's frustrating. But sometimes you kind of have to take a leap of faith to see if something's going to work. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Just because it doesn't work doesn't mean you're awful or whatever. Just life happens. And this is a really bad economy to be looking for work. Just objectively. Like no political motivation or bias or anything intended in that statement. It's just hard for a lot of people. So, just be kind to yourself. I know it's hard, because it's been very difficult for me to be kind to myself for various reasons. But the fact that you're willing to talk about it shows that you care enough to do something. And that's the most important thing. Yeah, IT certs are very expensive, and it's a very time-consuming process. But if you can make steps toward things, then that is the most important thing you can do. I'm still a student, so I don't really have to worry about connections. No, 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 no. You need to be worrying about connections as a student, because that's the easiest time of your life to make them. Like when I was in college, the connections that I made ended up being a whole lot more valuable than the skills I actually learned. And that's directly led to a whole lot of really, really cool stuff. So take advantage of the time that you have while you're a student. Obviously, everybody's situation's different. I thought we were playing a video game. Yeah, I know, but we're talking about life here. You really got to take advantage of those chances while you have them, because once you're out of school, it gets incredibly hard to make connections and meet new people. Like, you have so many barriers either removed or greatly lessened while you are a student, and you have access to people who have knowledge and industry experience. And you're around a whole lot of other people like yourself who are really hungry for opportunities and might be willing to, you know, try some interesting new stuff. Please do not elect me to be a politician. Ugh. Oh, I hate politics so much. I was going to replace at least one of these with a piece of land. I guess probably the easiest way to go about this at this point now would be to just build behind this, so that I can start blocking some of these things off, so that more water flows through here. Because it will still go to the same, you know, general spot down here. So now that that's gone, that means I can get rid of that. And then I think I can put in... Where's my... Yeah, there we go. Terrain block here and here. And I don't think I can fit that there, but it should be okay. If I just put that in place, then I can get rid of this, then I can change that to be something else. Can medical beds go on the tree branches? I do not believe so. I thought we'd tried that, but we can take a look again. That is not a medical bed. Yeah, it's not activating here. And this is our triple-decker medical bunk bed. What a horrible term. Also does not interface correctly with that. Yes, that's also very true. Most people have fewer and fewer friends the older they get. You have a lot of friends when you're young, and I mean, I don't know. I'm in my mid-30s. I'm objectively not that old, but even in the past 5 years, my friend pool, like people that I talk to daily, even weekly, has probably been cut into like a third, just because people get really busy, and it doesn't mean they don't care about you. Just they have their own lives. And it's really, really hard to make time for other people when you don't even have time to make for yourself. So the younger you are, the more important that it is that you form those relationships and just be intentional about communicating with people. It doesn't even have to be, you know, professional development, quote unquote. Just make friends. Talk to people. Even if it's, you know, just stuff like in YouTube live chats. It's dangerous, I guess, for me to get too close to the whole parasocial aspect of doing this, but I do genuinely care about you guys. And I want you to be able to live your best lives. Whatever I can do to impact that, probably not a whole lot, but I do wish the best for each and every one of you. That is very true. It's very true. We're out of dirt. You are correct. So, how are we going to solve this problem? In this mod, dirt is created, or I guess not created, but it's obtained by loosening terrain, and then you can harvest it. So if we have a couple spots where we want to increase the size of an area, make it more convenient to get into a specific spot, then we should do that. I should have loosened terrain on this instead of just, you know, making a tunnel, but you know how it goes. How far does this reach? Okay, that's already maximum range. What am I going to do about this? If I were to... Nope, see, that's already at basically the maximum range. I think if I took maybe a little bit more of this out, I might be able to plant a couple more pine trees, but I don't think we're really that bad on pine resin. We're going to need more of those, so I'll tell you what. Let's loosen this terrain here. We'll just go for one of these kind of deals right here. We'll collect that dirt, and then we'll see if it gives us any additional range. If it does, then we can do something about it. Yep. I should be very, 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 very clear and very loud when I say this. This chat is not going to be a place where we debate politics. That is just an absolute cesspool of negativity. But yes, it is very, very hard to ignore it, and it's very important to take care of people that you know and who might be affected by things, and that's, I guess, as far as I'm probably willing to go with that. But yes, it's... kindness is important. Community is very important. And doing the right thing is important. You can choose to apply that however you want. But take care of people. You make more friends in undergrad than postgrad. Yep, absolutely true. And even, like, people that I've only spoken to just casually, like a couple years ago, will remember the connection and say, hey, you said that you did X, Y, Z. I'm looking to hire someone to do that. Or maybe you know someone who might be able to help with this. And then that connection still means something, even if it's just a really, really informal thing. Hammerby, thank you so much for the 15 Norwegian. I appreciate it. I don't think you understand just how little I desire to get into state politics here. But I appreciate it. Let the beard take the wheel. You're funny. Yeah. I agree. I agree. And, okay, so we're not going to get any more space out of here, but I can plant a couple more pines. If I click the right thing. Yeah, I have to be really careful when I try not to get into topics like the finer things about politics, because this is not a channel composed entirely of people in my specific sphere, in my area of the world. Like, there's people all over the world who watch this stuff, and not everybody wants to hear about, like, U.S. stuff, but it does end up affecting a whole lot of people. And at some point you have to, you know, say, hey, you have to be nice to people. You have to just do your best to be a good person, regardless of whatever you think that means. I think that's the most important thing. Yep. And that's part of the reason why I do these videos, why I do these streams the way I do. It's supposed to be a way for people to just enjoy something positive, or at the very least entertaining when I make some sort of stupid mistake. Because there's a lot of garbage happening, and a lot of people are very, very, very affected by it. And I don't want to add to the misery in the world. I would very much like to decrease the amount of suffering, not increase it. So we need 2 more blocks, 2 more pieces of dirt here, and then 6 of there. I don't know how much more dirt I can get from this. I think this is about the fullest radius I can grab. What other dirt could I possibly remove? Because if we want to increase the amount of water that can be pumped from here, the best thing to do is probably to remove this power dam here, because it's not generating power anyway. It's like very, very, very negligible quantities. Now this guy can pump from this entire thing here, and that's a whole lot more water. Trains and trams for the wind. Yes, that is something I can absolutely get behind. Most important thing is to be kind and respectful, and you know, just treat people like people, and just be good to people. We can put some more stuff on here too. Let's not forget this demands 500 HP, and if this windmill is not turning, then they're not making any power. And I don't really feel like doing a huge power tunnel to get all the way to here. And if we tunnel underneath the tree goes away. We did learn that last time with this. So let's see here. Oh, see, this is good. We're making 6,300 HP, and we're only demanding 27. But these gravity batteries do, unfortunately, not recharge that quickly. But wind tunnel's working nicely. We need to get building some monuments here. I haven't done any roofing pieces? I thought I did. Oh, I had them before, but I got rid of them. That's what that was. Okay. Why did they disappear? Were they not in the decoration tab before? That's a problem if those went away. Because they're still part of the, they're still part of this. Where'd they go? They've always been in the decoration tab, right? Okay, well, I guess I have to put in a couple of scarecrows here and there, then. I don't have very many spaces close to trees to do that, but if I can get it kind of near the really popular beaver thoroughfares, we might be okay. There's no roofing pieces left. I can't. I'm never going to be able to get that point because they're not in the game. All right. Clockwise, this wouldn't be a terrible spot for a clock. Just right here. Most of them will walk or zip line or something through that area. And I suppose I could put another one over near this tree, and then another one over near this tree. Should cover most of it. I don't really have a... Yeah, see, these things are on the ground again because I'm not making enough power. Not a lot of great ideas. What if I put it on top of here? Okay, we're going up to 39. So, there's not really a whole lot more we can do outside of the monuments here. So, we have the Fountain of Joy, which must be either in water or have access to it. So that seems like a great thing for us to put here. If I can get... I need 5 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So that does need to have access. I guess if I move that. Maybe... Oh, I forgot it goes over the... goes over the side there. Alright. Which way should this face? This way? Sure, why not? So I should have the materials to build this. It looks like I do, just barely. Labor and monument. We just find a couple spots to stick one of these guys. 1 or 2 of them somewhere. Doesn't have to be absolutely everywhere. Had to step out for a minute to get your breakfast. What did I miss? We started getting a whole lot more of the well-being stuff put in place. Trying to get a little bit more dirt so I can try to force some water through here. Not necessarily working that great, but I do have to have water going through, so I can't really dam it up. So that's fine there. I mean, it's all going to the same place, so you'd think that it'd be fine. But maybe because this is a full block higher here, it's not wanting to play nice. Because this just flows straight through here. This is always going to want to take some water out because this is Is this open? No, it's closed because I have it set to close above depth. Okay. So this honestly should probably be open all the time. So that this flows through here and then moves water through that. I don't know why I had that set up that way. What are those connecting the water wheels to the tree? That's charging stations. Unless you're referring to something else. Okay, yeah, there's no water wheels anywhere else. Can you put the fountain on top of the water pump tree? No, the fountain has to be in water. The base has to be in water because that's how it draws water through the bottom of it. It'll make sense when it actually turns on. Oh, carousel. Okay. I don't know that it will let me, but let's... I'll get all these pieces back if I demolish it before it's complete. Let's try it. So that was there. Yeah, it's not going to let me do that unless I were to move... Yeah, I'd have to move this ladder one over, but that's not going to be too difficult. Let's do that. Let's take that, take that, take that way. I know I could just connect this straight, but I like sending those guys through the trees. Okay, Fountain of Joy here instead, which will connect it to, yeah, every tree on this side of the map. I am glad you pointed that out. And of course, the tribute to ingenuity is going to go on the top of this. I do need to figure out exactly what this is going to end up looking like. Got beavers living in here, so we probably should have at least some water storage. So a large tank, not going to be a bad choice. Food storage. What food do we not have a lot of storage for? Got 500 for grapes, 500 for mangrove fruits, 1,500 fruit salad, 1,500 fermented fruit, 1,500 fermented dandelions, fermented chestnuts, fancy apples, berries, I guess. I don't think we really need that many berries, though. And there's no other food that we haven't made yet. Well, I definitely don't need 1,200 berries, but these do get kind of annoying to build. There is food in these other trees, so I think that's probably just going to have to be fine. But water is always a good thing to have. So I have a windmill here. Can I do 2 windmills, and then can I do the tribute to ingenuity on top? Cannot be built at that height. Okay. Can it be built at this height? Yes. Now, what if I put in 1 more layer? Is that going to fit there? Yes. What if I put in 2 more layers? Is that going to fit there? No, it will not. Okay. So the one housing unit here, if it is at a similar height to something that can go into, that's a pile it's not going to want to go in. Unless it is. No, it will go in here. I thought about trying to make another sky bridge at this level, but that probably isn't going to matter. I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. We'll do this. And that needs to face that way probably. All right, so I guess that's going to be what they're working on now. Just let that run in the background a little bit. Just wondering if maybe it was changed to be able to interact with the top of a tree with water storage or a pump. Would be a cool addition to the mod. Yeah, you know, that would be really cool. I'm not going to bug Bob about it because, you know, that's a lot of stuff to ask, and I think he's trying to take a break right now. But I think it really wouldn't be that hard, especially if it's in a tree with other water storage in it, because we already know the trees do communicate items up and down between different things in the same tree. It would be a pretty cool thing to stick it on top in a little tiny tank of water. Power is always needed. You are correct, which is why I did this way. You know what? Should I put this large tank at the very top so I can have all of these windmills. Yeah, I'm going to do that. No, hold on. It's just going to look better that way. You know, not that we're all really going to get bent out of shape about organization of everything in a beaver tree, but if you have an opportunity to do something the correct way, you probably should take it. So, power is always necessary, like you said. Especially when you can't produce it constantly, but you're consuming it constantly. And you have all these gravity batteries that are fighting for last place in the gravity battery race. Batteries, I don't know, probably gone to bed. It's like almost 10 o'clock over there. Instead of the housing unit, should probably do gravity batteries in that tree. Okay, well, they haven't built anything yet, so if I take the housing unit out, I need 2 blocks of height for the gravity batteries, which means the large tank needs to go as well. So I would have to replace that with the medium tank, which is the same... Oh, that's not going to work. I will have to do small tanks on 3 sides. Probably going to be the easiest way to do it, because I have to have the 4th side for purposes of laddering. Which now I probably need to check and see height-wise. You know what? You know what? Let's take this small tank. Let's move this. I know I probably don't need to have the game paused. It just helps me think better. Let's do this. Let's do a tree trunk side access. And then that will go there. Ah, I can't do that. I cannot do that because I have to have a ladder somewhere. So this is going to have to just be a regular side, unfortunately. Well, it's alright. That'll go there. Then I can have gravity batteries. This will need to be the doubles because stuff is hanging off the side. Yeah, so that's going to be fine there. Let's flip that. Flip that. Put in a 6 by right there. On that same level, I can put in that. Let's do, instead of a 6, let's do a 4. And then a 4. Then instead of this 6 here, I guess I can do a similar thing. 4 and then a 5. So that's going to connect those right there. I know it's a little stupid looking, but it's the way she goes. This will not connect into the tree, but for the purpose of support, I will stick it there. And then observation terrace would be a very good thing for us to put here, I feel like. Put one there as well. And I have a control tower on that. I don't have a control tower on this side, so I guess sticking one of those here would be helpful for this bit of stuff as well. We got branches. I don't know how many more I really would need or want to build. We also don't have a whole lot of materials. Right now we're trying to make some more logs, and that requires all of this to actually be set up correctly. Oh yeah, I was trying to get dirt. I guess we could just indiscriminately take some of this terrain away. Make bigger reservoir somewhere. Now, this is 2 blocks high. I do have access here, though. So if I were to take this entire row of stuff out, then I could do the thing below it once that gets opened up. Yeah, I think that would be somewhat simple. Just take a little bit of time. And then get our dirt the way we can. Maybe not mess with that quite yet. So many things for these beavers to do. So many things. Drink water. It's good for you. Oh, I have to wonder, how many shovels do I have? 159. Okay, so we do have the ability to do some of this. It's just going to depend on how quickly they want to accomplish it. They haven't started with this. Oh, they're probably working on this. Alright, let's follow some builders around. I've got 10 builders. You were carrying nothing, now you have metal blocks, and they're probably going over here. Yes. So they're building this wonder. I'm assuming that is what they're going to be doing for the rest of time here. Excavator tree. I mean, I guess. I wasn't really planning on doing that much. Do I have 100? I do. Do I have 100 gears? I do. Do I have 50 metal? I do. Oh, that also requires power. So now I've got to figure out where I can stick this. Because that does have power coming into it. I guess, does this have a... Oh, there's a zip line. Perfect. Yes, I will appease you, and I will build that. Just get that hooked into that mess right there. And we already have, somehow, a really circuitous way of getting into it. And we do have a way to get into it. I guess I will add this here and here. And I can just pop that guy right there. Make that nice and easy. And that will be connected directly to here. Even though these aren't really turning that much, it is technically turning. As soon as this gets shut down, then I guess I could probably turn... Oh, this is shut. So it's all going out this one... It's all going out this one dam. Bots work in the observatory. Oh, I have 53 bots who aren't working. Yes. Ah, I don't have enough science. 7,500 science to do that. See, this is why the observatory is important. But we're consuming science because we have those control towers. I don't know exactly what that's looking like. 3467, 71. So we are still making science. May have already been asked as I was late to the party, but can you stack the extended gravity batteries on top of the shorter ones? Yes. And I think I've done that in at least one of these trees. Yeah, right here. I've got these short ones and then the longer ones on top. Treadmill-powered observatory. Oh, you know what? That's right. We have 67 unemployed beavers. And they have a desire for fitness. So, you know what we can do. So we can have our beaver fitness club right here. I'll start out with 6 of those. And they can just power all this mess. Alright, we're getting closer here. Just need some more planks and 5 more metal blocks. We'll be in business. We're about to have a drought anyway, so doesn't really matter for the purpose of what we're trying to do here, but they will get to this when they get to it. Well, being at 40, not too bad, not too bad. We just have a little bit more to get. Main problem is not having enough logs, which is why I built all of these in the first place, but they still take 1.3 hours to make a single log. This would probably be a good candidate for bots, so I suppose I will do that. Bots will work a little bit more efficiently. You know what I didn't do is I didn't put any bot charging stations in this tree. I really should have. Wow, went up to 45. How much? Wow, how much is this giving? 6? I don't remember it being that much. All right, cool. Works for me. But yeah, the charging stations, we have these modular ones, or we have these that can be part of a tree. So side block has a ladder there. This, however, does not have to be a ladder. This can be a charger. That'll be nice and easy. And then I think it was on top of that that I was attempting to put this. I think I can do one more layer on top of that. So let's instead put in 3 of these chargers. And I guess corner pieces. That one like that, and then on top of that. Oh. Oh, there's no ladder. How do I always do this to myself? Alright. There we go. I think that's as high as it's going to let me go. 48! 48. Alright, wow. Plus 8 for the Fountain of Joy. Not too shabby. Creating Leafcoats decals and didn't realize the time. Well, it's 3:43 p.m. where I am. I'm sure where you are it's probably a lot later if you're making a comment about the time, but glad to see you. Also, yes, these guys have been changed to be green. The original model was, of course, the regular brown, but pretty snazzy. Let's grab... Oh, they haven't even done that yet. What are they so caught up doing? Because I thought they built just about everything else. Alright, I'm just going to prioritize these. Just going to make it easier for us to get stuff done if this gets done more quickly. Assuming they do want to come over here and do this. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait. There we go. So I guess I do have to be careful about which of these I demolish first. Yeah, because they're not really going to be able to get around it too much. Is this going to be out of range on the end here? Yes. Alright. So that will require a couple pieces of path. Nothing complicated. I'll have them come take care of that. I removed the power dams. They don't have access. Access to what? They can go through the tree. It's fine. Grabbing that dirt. Let's demolish these. Come on. There you go. That should give us just about all the dirt we need for this. But it still says they don't... Oh, you know what? You know what? The dirt's going for the mud pit. I forgot we built those. So we do actually need a dirt excavator. Well-being of 49. Okay. I guess it's all the more important that we build this dirt excavator tree then. I did not think it was going to be a necessity, but I guess it is. And they do still have access directly to this area. It's just a little bit more convoluted to get there. What are they building, though? They're taking forever. Alright, metal blocks. Ah. Why are they taking that route? There's no way that's actually shorter to get over here. Oh, that's not built because there's no wood. Okay. Well, see, this is why I wanted to have all those lumber presses in the first place. It is very interesting to see them take really weird paths to get places. Ah, Okay. Okay, they're building this. Which I guess isn't really necessary. But it'll get use, so I guess that's fine. All the way over to here to get metal blocks. Thought I had storage over there for that. Oh, are we out of power? Really? Oh, Gary has died of old age. Alright, it's time for Gary 9. Who will become Gary 9? That's bots. That's not beaver children. Alright, the youngest child is selected. So, yeah, me too. What color is Gary 9 going to be? Oh, that's 19. There we go. That's Gary 9. First person to put a hex code in. I don't know if it'll take teal. We can try teal. Oh, it does. Okay, cool. So Gary 9 is teal. We will need to keep an eye out for Chad and Karen. Chad's 57. Karen is also 57. Those will also be renamed. It doesn't need the hashtag if it's just a color. Like the name of a color, but if it has the actual hex code, it does need to have that. Yeah, we do have a wood problem, but keep in mind we're also building a lot of stuff that requires wood. If we weren't actively building, we'd probably be fine. I added 4 more lumber presses. It doesn't quite seem to be enough. So let's take a look at our lumber presses and get bots in all of these. They're all making logs. And the lumber mills, I only have 5. 5 of my 7 operating. So I don't want to shut them off in trees that are actually making good use of stuff. Maybe it's in the bottom of that same tree. Alright, I'll pause that. We don't need to be using so many logs to make planks, but we do still have to have planks. Let's make that abundantly clear. Where did this get turned around? Come on. Okay, treated planks. Yeah, see, these bots really, really need some charging. So I guess, yeah, it's gonna be smart for us to actually have some chargers here. So I'll just put a couple more. I know those do cost resources that we don't technically have, but we're getting there. They still haven't built this because we don't have enough logs. Oh boy. We do have branches, we do have bark, so I think we're doing okay. We just need to have maybe a little bit less using that stuff. I can't really, well, I guess I could turn off bot assemblers. We just keep making parts, but stop assembling new bots. That'll save us a little bit of power as well, which should be helpful. Yeah, nothing's going to flow through here during a drought anyway, so I don't need to worry about that. But this is here. So, this dam does not need to be there because there's a thing in front of it now. If I remove this, all of this water is going to go away. Not really that big of a deal, but I don't want necessarily to flood this. I think it might be okay. Maybe. I just need to replace this with something else, and I do have currently the dirt to do it. So if I hit pause, I go in here with a terrain block a bit. Make that the top priority. And then they will build it. Hopefully before all this water completely goes away. I just need them to hurry up. It's all going to be gone. They're not going to make it. We only have 2. No, okay, there it goes. All right, cool. 1.6 days. So that does mean this is only going to open when the level below this gets to 0.5 or below. And the only way that's going to happen is because of evaporation. So this power dam actually isn't doing much of anything. That should reroute all of the water flow, most of the time, through these wheels, through this bit here and into this where it can be sucked up by this guy. I think that should help us out a little bit. That is true. The bots don't get the debuff. Is this set for bots? It is. These trees that are constantly dead from bad water can be cut down. I guess just constantly. We'll let those guys do what they gotta do. Yeah, taking your sweet time to get over here, huh? There's 50. Didn't even go to the flag first. Okay. Well, see, once everything is set up correctly, I don't think we're going to have to worry about having bots gather trees permanently. We've just been trying to build a whole lot of stuff because I'm trying to quote-unquote finish this today. So there's going to be some problems as a result of that. And the lumber presses are supposed to be making everything here. Oh, the problem is pine resin. I did not think the problem was going to be pine resin. So we already have so many pine trees. Tell you what, let's plant some more pine trees. This whole area here can be pine trees. They're not marked for cutting. Yeah, that's going to be the easiest way to do it. Everything else I think is probably okay. So these guys are tapping here. See, these are dead because of... They shouldn't be dead because of bad water. I think they're just dead. Yep, still cutting that down. That's fine. They will get replanted. Or I guess I don't need to worry about that, because that is marked for cutting. Ah, here we go. Now we're making power, kind of. I don't think so, because after this is done, I need to focus time on some other stuff, like all the other live streams people want to see. So, if this is the last stream for this, then that's probably just going to be it. I'll put the save file up. I've got a Google Drive that I am not very good about updating, but I do put Gabe saves up there for people who want to see them. So this definitely needs to get added to that if you want to play with it. Well, my main goal for this is to build everything that we want to build, get the well-being as high as we can, and then go from there. So now this is making dirt. That should be okay. I don't think I need to have 4 beavers working in this, but I also have a surplus of beavers. So I guess it's fine. We'll need to have a large pile for dirt in the dirt tree because... Obviously, cycle 27 begins, should send most of our water through here, which will make some amount of power. I need to have a zip line connection to this tree. I don't think there's really that much else to build here. Unless we just want to keep making more and more and more and more and more trees. Tree plank things. Lumber press. That's the term. So yeah, I guess it never hurts to have more of these. And since I know we have to have bots go in here, I can have one of those there. I can have one of these here. Make that the ladder in place there. That should be good. We'll need to have storage for the things that make lumber. So that, of course, is these regular warehouses here. Got bark. We've got branches. Yes, we have to have more. So that actually should be that 250 versus 100. Again, it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. Put in a charger here as well. We'll do the same kind of thing here where this is the... I think the ladder goes on. And this space here, if I have a medium warehouse, it's just 2 blocks tall. Medium pile's the same deal. So that's not really that great of a thing, but I can do a small pile. right like so. That can be for the logs, and then I know we have to have storage for the pine resin as well. These warehouses are... Wait, hold on. Is that a first floor entrance? Yes, okay. So instead of another charging station, I will make this a storage for pine resin because we do need to have something for that. Yeah, that's just going to be the easiest way to do it. Put that there. And then on the top of this, I should be able to put 2 more lumber presses in a different orientation. This can be another charging station on this side. Zipline, I probably should try to keep it about the same height, so we'll do this over here. This will have to be the ladder on this side. So that's progress. This is making 125, that's making 80, that's making 60-ish, 50-ish. Yeah, I'll take that. It's going to keep, you know, increasing in speed as this all gets forced through here. I hope this doesn't overflow. I think I should have enough space. We'll see. More windmills never hurts. Right you are. So if that goes there, I guess I could put in 2 of those. Then if I did 3, it would be a different height for the what do you call it? Zip line. I guess it doesn't always have to be the same height. How much longer are you planning on streaming? Yeah, I did say 2 hours. A little bit longer, because I don't think there's enough left to do in this to justify an entirely separate stream next week. So I tell you what. We'll go until we finish the Tribute to Ingenuity and get this tree figured out. And then, unless anybody has anything they're absolutely dying to get done, we'll call it a day, and I'll put this up so you guys can download it if you want. I think this is as high as this is going to let me go up here, too. But, yeah, we probably could get all of these to 100% if we lowered the working hours a little bit and maybe built a few more of these decorations in various spots. Like beaver statues just somewhere over here. I don't know that they can actually reach any of these areas. At least without the gravity batteries being here, so. From inside the tree, they might be able to do it. I don't know. This says too far from a district cannot be reached. If the gravity battery was not all the way down, they probably could reach it. But I will just go ahead and not put that there. I'll put it over here instead. It'll reach that one. Not try a split trunk tree. I mean, I don't want to sit here for like an hour and a half while they build it, but we did prove that the concept does work. You just have to have something to support it, and the bot part factories seem to be a decent option for that. And I'm sure we could do the same thing, turn this sideways again. We did talk about that. To do something like this. To make a 4-trunk tree, which would work. Ha, get it? Would work. But if I were to put that right there, you have the space in the middle that is 3 by 3 here. This is 5 by 5, including the corners, so you still couldn't put a wind tunnel on top of all of this because it would block everything. But, you know, it does allow you to do this, in case you were curious. Still need a tremendous quantity of logs to be able to build all this stuff. Alright, I'm going to put this on 30 times speed, just so we can, you know, get somewhere. Pine trees growing up are going to help. Well, we're not out of pine resin, but definitely a little bit lower. How much can you extend it? Probably just as far as you want to go. It's just going to be harder and harder because of the dimensions at play here. You're going to have space in between each of the trees so that your final intermediary thing is going to be a 5 by 5 space. As long as you have one tile of the bottom of the wind tunnel connected to a tree, you're going to get power from it. So you could, I don't know, you could experiment with some sort of weird configuration if you really wanted to do that. I would also probably, in the spirit of the game, caution you not to just abuse buildings for their cantilever ability if you're not going to actually use them for what they produce. Kind of like with the water beavers, you're not supposed to have a building used as part of a dam and then pause it, because then you're not actually playing it correctly, quote unquote. I mean, you do what you want, right? But the spirit of the mod with the water beavers is to actually have everything, good or bad, contribute to what you're doing, and not just abuse the mechanics for the sake of technically skirting around whatever kind of restrictions are in place. Alright, so we do have a couple more lumber presses going here. I'm going to put those as bots. And then before these get built, I will put these for bots also. And that should help us get a little bit more in the way of logs. Obviously, you do still have to have more pine resin. And these, despite being a 30 times motor, are still going to take another couple minutes to get us any amount of resin. Yeah, these aren't making that much power. I really thought it would be a whole lot more. Let's come finish what we were doing over here to get more dirt. Although we do have enough dirt, I feel like. But I did say I was going to do this, so we should do that. Got this here we can demolish. Get a little bit more space in our reservoir. We didn't technically finish this one, but not really much else we really can put in a tree like this. This is still connected to all of this stuff. This one is not, to be perfectly clear, but it seems to be doing just fine. Yeah, it's just we're waiting on so many logs. It's become kind of annoying. Chestnuts. See, this is what, 40 days ish. Okay, I guess technically 32 days. It's not 40 days, but it's a long time to wait to get some more chestnuts. And though we have all of these willow trees, all of these eucalyptus trees, we're still kind of out of branches, which come from the willow trees. Despite having all these trees, it's still not enough. Pruning flags. Probably could use a couple more, or no, these are mostly they're mostly pruned already. Well. See, this is why this gets hard. Possible to keybind the demolish command. I don't know. We can take a look. There's one for detonate, which I have mapped to F10, and then B for boom. I don't see one for demolish. And dev mode, maybe there's... Oh man, I wanted to rebind the left mouse button to something else. No. You can rewind the credits? Interesting. Yeah, I don't see anything for demolishing. It's unfortunate. That would be pretty useful. Printing flags should be bots. Right you are. Why is this so ugly? Oh, these aren't... Oh, those are the ones I didn't build because I was proving a point with the thing. Alright, pruning flag. I have 15 of these? Sheesh. Well, the other danger with doing this is there's no charging stations over there. So that could result in some complications if these guys can't charge, which... This is not connected to power otherwise. And just have these windmills that are not really producing very much. But there are zip lines, and there's charging stations over here, so I guess it's fine. That's strange. That looks like that. Ah, see now... Now we're waiting on gears because I paused the... Okay, yeah. See how... No, I didn't pause them. They're just, not able to keep up because we've been building so much stuff. Ah, they're all going here to the tribute to ingenuity. Well, that's my fault, I guess. It does seem like wood is slowly catching up, so that's good to see. Just have to wait. Just have to wait. I don't know why they don't all have the detailer thing, because there's 2 of them. That I know that's enough to keep up with 162 beavers. Probably not a bad idea to have another garden available. Probably would fit pretty nicely right about there. Maybe a 4th. Wouldn't be a bad spot right here for one of those as well. Yeah, I've got one there. That should be fine. So I can only assume this is their top priority, the tribute to ingenuity right here. Just have to wait. Okay, there's 51. See, I don't want to build any more gear workshops. What is consuming gears besides construction? Anything? I've got bot part factories, 2 of them. That's fine, I suppose. If you include construction sites, then there's 15. But some of these are the ones that I never intended to actually build because it was just demonstrating what that was, so we can ignore that. Well, thank you for being here. Not possible without you. All of this is waiting on this one charging station because it doesn't have gears. It's honestly kind of impressive that it's like that. Well, we'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Okay, this is ready to get these picked up. I wonder, can I get away? No. No. Aha! There we go. That was fast. Sheesh. Alright, now they can pick up all this dirt. I think we actually have full storage. Okay. Well, I guess that's going to stay there for a while. How close are we now? Okay, we still need 140 gears. At least that's all we need. It's not treated planks or metal blocks. But the gears are also needed for stuff that's going to help us to do more things. I'm gonna have to have it. I'm gonna have to have more gear workshops. I really wanted to avoid it. Where can I put one of these? Can I even reasonably build one of these? I don't have any more tree trunks that are actually going to handle any. I've got log storage here. That is connected power-wise. All right. I'm going to have to do it. I'm just going to have to do it, or we're going to be here for hours, which I do not particularly want to be spending the rest of my day doing this. I got a ton of other things I need to do. But we can have some of this stuff here. I guess is this on a second story entrance? It is. That's going to make this possible. 2 small piles. We already have logs. I just need planks, and then probably more storage for planks. Let's do. I see something in chat. I'll read it in just a second here. I need to make sure I get this properly configured. I'm going to need a storage for gears in this area. So, little warehouse for gears is probably fine. I'll build 2 of them. Why not? And at the very top here, probably would not be a bad idea to have a charging station. And then one of these, so I can put a ladder in case we want to go out further. Oh, hey, Kurt. No 5-hour stream. I was hoping to record 3 other videos today. Big couple weeks for the train channel coming up, and I gotta make time. But I need to record for tomorrow for the Water Beavers, Tuesday for the Ember Pelts playthrough, and Wednesday for Roller Coaster Tycoon, ideally, to have time what I'm supposed to be doing. So we'll see what happens, but I didn't want to just say, alright, well that's it, we're done with this playthrough forever, without actually getting everything completed. As you know, it just takes time, so I built a couple more of those gear workshops in hopes that we could have this Tribute to Ingenuity made kind of fast, and then they can put gears in these charging stations and stuff. I'm going to boost this guy a little bit faster, because then that's going to allow them to build the rest of everything without having to wait another 10 minutes. I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it. That's been a similar sentiment to a lot of people. Also, because I know you care so much about hot tubs, we have beaver hot tubs, so enjoy beaver hot tubs. I have had such a fun time with the train channel, and I'm not trying to just like shamelessly shill it for everybody who's in here, because I know some people really don't like that, but it has been a really fun thing. I've got so much cool stuff in the works, like you guys are not going to believe it. the kind of just like cool stuff that people have come out of the woodwork and said, hey, you want to come see this, you want to come film this, you want to talk to this person or whatever. Like there's so much cool stuff, man. 2026 is going to be really fun. Let's see, nothing to do in range is this, because it was poisoned. Does this mod have the oh, contamination barriers? We haven't even been building these. Oh, I've missed so many opportunities. For shame. I could have had these contamination barriers this entire time, but I didn't. Okay, this will be so much better once this is in place. 58. I guess that means this is finished? Yeah, look at this. Wow! Tribute to ingenuity indeed. That's cool. So now our well-being is outside of the roofing thing, which does not exist in this mod apparently. Everything is represented. It's not perfect, but it is represented. And once we have the rest of these buildings constructed, I think that is going to be a decent point for us to say, you know what, it's been fun, but it's time to move on. Yeah, I guess we probably should still have the rest of these windmills going. There is no hot tub stream. There will not be a hot tub stream. But it's fine. I have been extremely surprised by the amount of interest in the train channel. It's not monetized yet. So that first video that got, I think it's at 52 or 53,000 views, I've not made a single dime on. And I probably won't. But I did get invited to apply for monetization on that yesterday. And YouTube is really slow on working through those things, so I don't know. It could be tomorrow, it could be next month that I get properly reviewed and approved for that. But once that channel gets monetized, there's so much cool stuff that I might be able to do with that, and I think it's going to be a good time. Alright, let's see, we're at 55. I mean, they have access to all of these things. There's plenty of them. I think it's just an issue of the beavers are all working, and they don't have the time to go over there. So what I'm going to do, I guess maybe the last thing, let's have them go through the rest of this day here, and then I'm going to take the working hours completely away, 0 working hours, and we're going to see what these guys can get up to with ultimate free time. Hopefully that's going to mean they can all go and do whatever they want to do and get their credits, get their numbers up. Uh-oh, Karen died of old age. Yeah, see, this is already going way up. But I did say we're going to replace all the Karens, so what is... We only have 2 beaver children? Okay, well, congratulations. You are now size 30 text Karen. There you go. Well-being of 59. New high score. How are we looking here? We're getting there. We're getting there. I know I have enough of these for all the beavers to have benefits of it, so it might take another day or 2. That's fine. Lanterns, I think I only have like 1 or 2 of them. So if I just do some real simple stuff here and there to put a couple of these in place, we might get these numbers up. But of course there's 0 work hours, so only bots are going to be able to do it. We do have a couple bots as... I think we have bots as builders. Which one of these is the district center? Is that this? Yes. That's already bots. Alright, good. So we know they're going to be able to do it. Let's put this on 30 times speed again. And see just how fast those get placed. Isn't 30 the max? We haven't tried. Alright, there's well-being 60. That seems to be more or less about the cap here. Might get to about 61, 62 if we let it go forever. But for all intents and purposes, I think we can consider this to be quote-unquote completed without spending a whole bunch more time just doing nitpicky details. You want to try size 50. Alright, well, Chad's a big boy. Let's try size 50 Chad. It's too big. But if you open, then... wow, Chad's well-being 63. Well done, Chad. Good job. It is too big to read. So, how much more or less does the AdSense pay for train content over video game content? I think it's going to be substantially less. Just to be aggressively transparent here, gaming videos on YouTube pay a lot of money per view relative to other content. I'm not supposed to share my CPM or anything like that, but it's done quite well. For the small size, relatively, of the channel, it has been a tremendously, tremendously helpful source of income. I think... I won't know until it actually starts coming in, but I would expect the train channel to be like a quarter as much. No, I think I'd rather Amtrak spend their money improving their service than throwing it at influencers, but hey, I'm not going to say no if they want to do something. But I think Karen grew up. Large text. Let's return Chad's size to a slightly more readable 40. And I think, folks, this is going to be about as much as I am going to have time for personally to do this. Of course, please do play this mod. It's a whole lot of fun. The save for this will be up in the Google Drive. There should be a link in the description. If not, then I will put that in. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out for this playthrough. I think there's a significant appetite for this for me to do a video series, but I do want to give it a little bit more time, maybe another couple weeks, to see what all gets added, and also to allow the other series some time to breathe. There's still lots and lots of stuff that needs to get done. You know what I didn't do? I didn't connect these with a zip line. So you get a very small amount of bonus content here when this zip line gets constructed and connected here. So yeah, please do get that in. I'm so excited to share that with people. The screenshots look absolutely insane, and I think that's going to be a really, really fun video. Yep. So I'm going to let them get this taken care of. It's just the bots that are building this right now because it's, 0 working hours. But they should be able to get that done, hopefully in the next little bit. End it with a close-up of Gary. All right, when we get there, we're almost there. Just need the bots to bring a couple more things in, and then this will be up and running. The beavers can take it. There we go. All right. There's Gary. All right. There's Gary, folks. Appreciate you. Thanks for all the support, memberships, chat donations, all that. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you again soon for more things that are not Beaver live streams. We do have Transport Fever 2 and all that other fun stuff to get back into. Yes, Satisfactory as well. That's all the time I got today to stream. Have a great rest of your day. I know I already said it, but I really mean it. Take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.